From which center? Hello? Which center? Sunita, from which center? Hello? Is my voice clear? Voice and video, everything is clear from your side. Response from your side. Sunita is in class. Hello? Anyone respond? Whether my voice is clear or not, I have to move again.
All clear, sir.
Okay, can I continue the class?
Okay, sir.
Right. On and off, you have to respond. Whether the voice is obstruction, any video problem or audio problem, you have to respond.
Okay, sir.
Right. From which center, Sunita?
Eluru, sir. CR Reddy.
Okay, right. Again, this another one, iPhone. Which center from you?
ఓకేనా లేదు అన్న అంతకు రావట్లేదు
Hello?
అన్న ఈ 40 చదువుతున్నా అన్న అన్న అన్నారు అనుకో ఏం
Sunita,
చేద్దాం
mute,
అప్పుడు
mute
ఆలోచిస్తాం
yourself.
ఓకేనా
Yes, sir.
ఏం ఉండదు
Mute yourself. Whenever you
అలా
want
చూసుకుంటాను
to speak with me,
అసలు
you
నువ్వు
can
సీలోకి రావు
unmute and speak with me.
రిజిస్టర్
Okay, sir.
చేయకుండా డబ్బులు
Okay,
డైరెక్ట్
sir.
నీ అకౌంట్
Right. Mute yourself. Yeah, in this course, Introduction to Mass Communication and Journalism, there is a 5 blocks and with two consist of with 12 units. Is already you know the chapters and block names. Am I right? Block number 1, basics of communication. In this block, again, there is a 2 units. One is the introduction and the other one is types of communication. And coming to the block number 2, communication models. We have given some models and theories in this block. Again, block number 3 is the main subject of our journalism and mass communication, that is mass communication. And block number 4, introduction to journalism. And block number 5, about the history of journalism. Okay. Coming to the block number 1, basics of communication. What is communication? You have to learn. Are you attended any classes earlier about the subject in your study center?
No, sir.
Right. The unit 1 is the introduction to communication. In this unit, we will learn about the origin of the word communication, definitions, concept of communication, communication through symbols, nature of communication, functions of communication, and basic elements, the process of communication. There is a 7 C's, which is important for the communication, and evaluation of various communication forms and barriers to communication. And again, steps to remove the barriers. This is the basics of communication. Here you are learning about the basics of communication. Okay. Next, the word origin, how it is named as a communication. You know I am speaking with you. Is the communication? I am speaking with you over Zoom platform. Is this communication? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Communication. I am speaking with you. You are listening me. I am the sender. You are the receiver. I am giving you some messages to you. You are listening. Right? Everything is in society is based on the communication only. Either in the words or words are written means that is a verbal communication. Another type is like non-verbal means some signs, some images. These called non-verbal signals. Okay, come to the origin. The meaning communis. Communis is the Latin word. The meaning is this communis is sharing or common sense. Communication is an act by which a person shares knowledge, feelings, ideas, information, news, etc. The difference between information and news, can you say? Okay, we will learn in the Black 4, Introduction to Journalism. There we'll get the clear meaning of information and news. Okay, let's go with the other topic is the definitions. There is a 20 odd definitions we have given in the textbook. You go with the textbook, once read the textbook. And here I am giving you 2 or 3 important definitions. In examination, you have to write at least 3 to 5 various definitions because here in social sciences, especially our journalism and mass communication, there is not a single meaning or single definition for any word, any variety of word. So there is a number of definitions, multiple definitions by multiple persons, multiple research scholars and experts in the field. They will give on and off, they will give a new definition for their experience. Is clear my voice and everything? Feedback is important in the communication. Every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you have to respond because otherwise I could not know whether my voice is clear or image is PowerPoint presentation is clear or my video is not clear, whatever it is. Alertness also important in the class. Coming to the definitions, the transmission of information, ideas, attitudes or emotions from one person or a group to another or others primarily through symbols is one of the definition, and return using words is another definition. Communication is a social interaction through messages. Here messages through words or as symbols or as signs, whatever it is. There is many kind of symbols. Communication, for communication, many channels is there. Another definition is communication is a purposeful process which involves sources, messages, channels, and receivers. Here I have given only 3 definitions, but in the textbook there is a 20 definitions. You once read it, whichever the easily to you to remember, you can proceed the way. Next, coming to the concept of communication. Why the communication is required? Concept means here is required. Without communication, there is no life, no society, nothing in this modern age. Even though in earlier ages, medieval ages, there is also communication process. See, From birth to death, everyone needs some communication. For example, here a baby with a cry, she or he tells she needs some food. He is giving some communication through or she or he communicating something to the mother. See, every person requires some communication. Communication is a social, political, economical, and cultural need of human beings. It is a social need for the articulation of individual and community needs. It is essential to create enlightened public opinion. Communication enables a person to enter into a meaningful relations with other persons and exchange experience with them. Okay? Is it clear, my voice?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Any example from your side? The example for communication? Newspaper is a instrument. For example, newspaper is an instrument. It gives us the information, the news to us. That is also one communication instrument. Right?
Radio,
Television, mobile phones,
magazines
computer,
also.
new media, all these are the instruments. These are the channels. Instruments means channels. A message to reach to the receiver required one instrument. Even though there is a types of communication. In the second unit, we will know about the types. Okay?
Okay.
In our topics in the unit 1, next concept we are already we learned about the concept. Concept means requirements. Required. Why communication? So it is in a day-to-day life, every human being without communication could not be lived. Communication through symbols. We have now newspapers, television, radio, and mobile phones, internet facility, all this. But earlier ages, there is a no word even between the two persons. They were only with the gestures, with the signals, with the signs, only with the pictures. They communicate each other. Gestures means, for example, here is one emoji I have given in the PPT. It is a gesture. A person is laughing. A person is crying. A person is angry. A person is feeling hungry. Like these are the gestures. A person in the, for example, a live example, we see traffic police in the junction. He signs with his hands to pass the vehicles and stop the vehicles. That is a gesture. Another one is pictures. We see the pictures, images, and in olden ages there is a paintings and some rock pillars. We saw the writings on the rock pillars. That is a communication channel. Earlier age communication channel means instrument to know the future generations. And we will already discuss about the verbal. Verbal means verbal and non-verbal. Are you aware of these two words? Verbal and non-verbal. Maybe in your intermediate, there is also these words came in intermediate level. At intermediate level, in English, there is a communication skills like one chapter is there. There is a verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal means words, communication with words is a verbal. And there is again words in again delivered with in a written model or in a oral model. We are speaking. I am speaking with you is a verbal form, and I am writing a letter to the principal is a written word. These two are the verbal forms. And non-verbal forms. Above two are the non-verbal. Gestural, pictural, or the non-verbal model. Yeah, Mr. Rohit from which center? Nature of the communication. Communication could be one way or maybe two-way process. Here is the image is clearly saying one storyteller saying story to audience. It is a one-way communication. There is no feedback no feedback here. Here is the feedback is different and communication is different. The audience could not communicate about the story to the storyteller. Is it clear? One-way communication. Here is one image is clearly saying one storyteller is telling a story to the audience. It's a one-way communication. In a public meeting, we see in a public meeting, there is a leader or a minister or any opinion leader who is saying to the audience. But about the same topic, the audience, if it requires any feedback, once he says, only audience will respond. Otherwise, the leader, otherwise politician, he says what he have to say to the audience. Another way is the two-way communication process. For example, in a group meeting, for example, two persons who are like a friends, they are speaking each other. That is a two-way communication process. In a meeting, in a team meeting, in a board meeting, there is a two-way communication process. There is one person says to others, other will respond the same to the person. These are the about the human beings. I am saying about the human. In case of channels, what you say one-way communication and two-way communication? Channels means instruments. Rohit, can you answer? Mr. Rohit, are you listening in the class? Yes, Sunita, tell me. What is the one-way communication? What is the one-way communication instrument? Already we have discussed about the channels, one-way communication. What is the one-way communication instrument? And what is the two-way communication process instrument? Here is I am telling you about the persons, but I am asking you about the instruments, means channels. Do you know? For example, newspaper. Newspaper is a one-way communication. Just we will read the newspaper in the mornings. In the mornings means in the daytime or mornings, whatever. That is not a two-way communication process. One-way communication. Again, two-way communication process, the instrument is like walkie-talkie. Police personals have the walkie-talkies. Within the radius, walkie-talkie is not a much long. It is walkie-talkie is some limit that has a 5 kilometer limits or 10 kilometer limits or 2 kilometer limits. There is a limit. Within the limits, the two persons speaks each other in the same time. That is a two-way communication process. The nature of communication is depends on a proper understanding between the parties involved. And communication is a media or channel. I will tell you about. I told you about the channel and media. Media means here newspaper is a print media, and radio is a radio and television are the electronic media. Social media, we have a mobile phones, we are using nowadays social media, internet, all many apps available. All these are called the social media. Social media is the one of the channel for the communication. Is my voice clear? Mr. Rohit, respond. Another person, 1+. Who is this?
Sir, myself, Rahul Tejas.
Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Yes, from which center?
Khairatabad, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Rahul. There is a group. You have a group with 13, 14 members in this group.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
in the group?
Yes, sir,
WhatsApp
I'm in the
group?
group.
Yeah, right.
Journalism
Is my
group,
voice
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. On and off, you have to respond because I don't know the feedback. I required feedback from the learners.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now coming to our topic, subtopic is the functions of the mass communication. There is a 4 important functions in the mass communication. Not mass communication, it's a communication. The same comes for the mass communication also. The number one is the information function, and another one is command function. Third one, influence. Fourth one is interrogative function. It is clear, the words are stating clearly the functions of communication. Number one is information function. For example, can you say any example for the information communication? Anyone can say? News. We are reading news from the newspapers, listening and viewing from the televisions. News is the one of the information function. There is a difference between news and information. You may know in the black number 4 or 3, in the mass communication block of our textbook and and journalism block, which has the 2 or 3 units, where you know what is information and what is news exactly. For example, here information, and a person, otherwise a friend of you, is giving about the marriage information of another friend. That is not called news. That is only information. He is saying something about the price of a watch. That is the information, but that is not a news. Coming to the news, what should be in the news? What may call the news? In the news, there is a 5W and 1H. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. These 6 elements, if is there a 6 elements, it is called either 2 elements or 3 elements. That is called news. Right. Next function is command. Who commands to others? For example, in the office, the officer, the manager commands to the worker. Yes, command function. Someone, the boss who commands to the his employees. Or sometimes it is also called instructive. Some instructions is giving to the employees. Teacher is giving some instructions to the students. Or a grandmother or a head of the house in the home, he or she gives some instructions to the our family members, his family members. Okay? In the examination, you have to write with the examples. These are the simple words only: information, command, or instructive, influence, interrogative, all these simple ones only. Day to day, we are listening these words. Another one is influence. For example, if your friend bought some new mobile, he says information or some features about that mobile to you, that is influences you. So you are going to buy the new mobile. Opinion leaders, otherwise the political leaders, they influence to the voters. And opinion leaders, they influence the audience, target audience. The last one is interrogative function. Interrogation means questioning. The person, for example, a police person who have to know the information. You want them some inputs, some evidence from the thief. He is interrogating a thief. That is an interrogation. Okay? Interrogation means questioning. In the open talk show, someone asks a question and the other person, opponent person, who responds for the question. That is an interrogative function. Is it clear up to here? This is a first unit, is a lengthy unit, and you will learn the more from the first unit only. Okay? Next one is basic elements of communication. The basic elements are the communication is, number one is source. Source means sender. Here in this online class, I am the source. I am the sender. I am giving you some messages. I am giving you some information. I am telling the lesson. Source is a sender and message. What I have to tell you? I am telling you unit 1, the basics of communication. That is a message. What is communication? Types of communication, functions of communication, basic elements of communication. Those are the messages. Through which channel? Here I am using Zoom platform is a new media channel. Zoom platform is an app that is communication with the one person to others. To whose? To the receiver. Here is my receiver are the learners like you. Here is a 3 or 4 students who are attended the Zoom classes. Those are the receivers. Effect. Effect means you are learning from something from me. After this class, you know some knowledge about the communication. That is the effect. Is this clear with the picture and examples? Vivo V2303 maybe respond. Vivo, who is Vivo? Are you listening? Vivo V2303? Engaging each other is the best communication way. Instead of I am just scrolling the PowerPoint presentation and saying something from my side is not a best communication method. Communication means here interaction, requirement of interaction. You have to respond, you have to ask some questions, you have to know, you made something you have to say. One place, respond. Hello, is my voice is clear to you? Sunita, are you in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, respond. Is my voice and videos and PowerPoint presentation is everything is good?
All is good, sir.
Have some feedback from you.
Sir.
Okay. I'm going to the no response from the students. I'm going to the next topic. Basic units already with the picture we have learned. Here again I am telling you the in words. Source, the source wishing to say something. To receiver. The message or what the source wishes to say is the message. Channel. The channel or the medium which carries the message to its destination. And receiver, who is the target of the message, means target audience. I am what I am in this scenario, in this classroom, what I am?
Source. Send.
Yes, you are the
Receiver.
yes. Okay, others may respond. Is it clear? I think so. Up to here,
Yes, sir.
we have discussed the topics.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Is clear to you? That is my opinion. Yeah, going to the next topic, process of communication. Already we learned the message, the sender, message, channel, receiver, and effect. Effect is here feedback. The same, nothing else. The sender is the encoder and receiver is the decoder. Means message I am telling you, I am speaking in the words you are listening. The word is the word I am speaking. There is a words in English. For example, I am speaking. SP spelling. These are the encoder. Receiver also listening and receiving some codes. So same letters. Receiver also receiving. The process of communication is first the sender, the message through one channel, receiver receive that message and he gives or she gives feedback. In between, there is a noise. For example, I'm speaking with you. If any noise like any, for example, running fan disturbance, otherwise any paper disturbance, otherwise a computer keyboard disturbance, those are called noise. For example, for the another channel, its noise is different vary with the channel to channel. I am speaking here over Zoom. There is no noise. For example, it is clear to you. My voice is, I am telling you something and the voice is clear to you. If my voice is not clear, means my mic is not working, my voice is not clear. Means this is the instrument mechanical noise.
Noise.
Next, for example, newspaper. Can you say example, what is the noise of newspaper? Once think a little moment for 5 or 10 seconds. What is the noise of a newspaper? For example, I am telling you another example. For instance, television. There is a no signal. Means for in case of rain is coming, there is a disturbance. So there is a no signal. You could not hear or view the TV. That is one kind of mechanical noise. For the same, what kind of noise for the newspaper? Can anyone say?
Print.
Print. If there is a blur printing, there is a over word means letter over letter, or the image which is published in the newspaper that is clear. Those are the noise. Okay.
Okay.
So every channel means here is an instrument only. So every instrument is something. Sometimes, not every time. If the mechanical work is done in a good way, there is a no noise. Maybe sometimes we will get noise. Going to the next clip. Here is a sender. Sender is a encoder. Is giving some message. Sometimes noise comes. Many times now the technology is improved. There is a no noise. Means the advanced technology. Means instruments are now we are using. So less noise is our here. Earlier days, some 20 years ago, some 30, 40 years ago, each channel has a much noise. Now it is reduced because of advanced technology. We are using advanced technology instruments. Sender message and receiver through channel. Here is just this message is about the noise only. After receiver, he have to give or she have to give some feedback to the sender again. So receiver again is giving some encode, means he is also speaking some words. You are replying to me. I am asking you some questions, you are replying to me. So that is a feedback coming to the sender again. I am decoding your message. In English, there is a letters. I am giving some message in the written word or oral word in English language with the using of alphabets. You are also giving me through feedback using English language with the alphabets. I am decoding those letters through feedback. Clear? Next, Three analytical stages means here also why communication. Already second or third slide I have explained about why we are using communication. Right? Communication is for the awareness. We are living in the society. We require awareness on surroundings, either instruments or speaking to one, or for message, for information, for knowledge. We require awareness on the particular subject, topic, or a physical item. Another one is action. Once you are aware about a particular product, you are going to buy that product. That is the action. And self-expressed communication. You have to say something. Already you know, in the society, human being is a social animal. For the well-being, he has to or she has to communicate to others. Yeah, coming to the topic. Yeah, someone came, the student to know the details. Yes, is this clear? This is all routine actions. Routine. We have known all these every day, every moment of our life. Already, I told you communication is a much required for the human being. In any place, anyone, because it is depends a human required communication. Without communication could not be there. Can I go to the next topic? Here already we knew what is communication, elements of communication, and nature, functions, basic elements, all this. There is a 7 C's for communication. Without these 7 C's, the communication is not useful for us. Those are the credibility. Number one is the credibility. See, for the live examples, nowadays we are using WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook or social media. There is a plenty of messages. Of them, which are the correct, which are not. We don't know. It's required again a fact-checking model. Without credibility, the information, the news is not useful. Sometimes, if a person who is credible, if he says anything, we will believe it. If a person who was not in always says lies, we could not listen. Even though we could not listen him, we don't follow him. For example, for communication, our mass communication, every channel or a newspaper or a radio, whatever it is. Do you feel which one is the credible of among these news channels? Channels means not here is exactly a Telugu channel, English channel, not like that. Channel means mass media instrument. Newspaper, radio, television, social media, all these are called channels only. Among them, which is the credible source? Do you think? Social media, for example, messages in the social media is a credible source, credible information? Maybe that is a credible or not. In a reputed newspapers, if any information come in the newspapers, reputed newspapers, we believe it is a credible news. Okay? Next, context. Context means whether the information, context and content, the type and content, the subject which is suitable for, useful for you, you can listen. Otherwise, you could not listen. The content, the subject, the message which is suitable to you, is it maybe it is required to you, you listen it or you read it. Otherwise, you could not read it. Another one is clarity. If already one example we have discussed here, newspaper, noise of the newspaper, a blurred photo or a letter, there is no clarity. That is a mechanical part. For example, in a sentence, there is no clarity. Sentence means word means, paragraph means, word means a combination of letters. Sentence means a combination of words. Paragraph means a combination of sentences. There is no clarity in the word, means that is a misspelled word. We could not understand. If no clarity in the sentence, means it is not accordingly to the grammatical, or accordingly it is not according to even spoken, there is no clarity. Again, blank number of sentences in a single para, or number of words in a single sentence, we could not listen, we could not understand. So small paragraph, otherwise small sentences with a small few words is clear to us. Next, continuity. So if we are we know some information. For example, now elections are going on. Just 2 days ago, first phase of election. We have anxiety to know what is going to be in the second phase election, third phase, fifth phase, seventh phase, and results. Always a human being have to know the information continuously. Continuity is another important point, important theme in the communication. Next, coming to the channels. Channels means, again, anyone answer what is here? Channels.
Channels is newspaper, media,
Instruments, newspaper,
anything.
radio, television, all these are called channels. For example, if a illiterate person, a 80 years old man who don't know to reading newspaper, if the information, if a news
Ramarao.
giving to him through newspaper, is it useful for him? No, he could not read it. So for him, a radio is a good channel for him. A television is a good channel for him. So choosing a channel is another important element in the communication. Channels and capability of receiver. These two are interconnection, and first here is a context and content also interconnectivity, channels and capability of receiver. These two are the interconnectivity to these two main elements. If a channel is a perfect channel, have to choose to give a sender a message to the receiver, and sender may have to know whether the receiver is a capability to receive his message with the instrument or with the channel. Capability of the receiver is another important element in the communication. Up to here, is that clear? All these topics we have discussed in this class.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? No more doubts from you? No one asking any doubt in this topic? Maybe this is a day-to-day life we are facing, we are experiencing all these items. So it's a common thing for everyone. Next is evaluation of various communication forms. Earlier ages, there is a cave paintings. Cave paintings means paintings or cave paintings are the one of the form of communication. Then after rock pillars, inscriptions, edicts. This is a history orientation. How the communication forms earlier. Before these cave paintings, what are the communication? There is no official information, but the earlier ages it is like only one-to-one communication only. Human being, one person to other person through words or signs, verbal or non-verbal communication only. But that is a one-to-one interpersonal communication system is there. So notable forms are paintings, rock pillars means inscriptions, edicts. We see, for example, if anywhere evacuation is going there anywhere, we will find some rock. There is some marks or a painting. Based on the paintings and scripts, we will know some information of that age. And another form is writing on palm leaves. Earlier days there is no paper. Paper is used in the century something like 6th century, and after printing machine is invented in the 14th century, only we know about the paper. Much known about the paper. Earlier that there is only written on the leaves only, palm leaves. Palm leaves means palm leaves will more life than other leaves, and it's written writing on the palm leaves is easy. It is the lifetime of that writing is more than other leaves. So that is why earlier writers, they are written on the palm leaves. Storage also is better than the other leaves. Next one is oral communication. Oral communication is speaking one another through one language. Language is here again, each language again discuss about the language. There is a scripted language and unscripted language also. Many in India, many languages which have no scripts. Over some number I don't know exactly, but many languages, even in nowadays we are speaking in many languages, there is a no script. Is this clear? Here is some images. Here is one painting on a rock, maybe in the cave or otherwise in a hill, whatever it is. What is showing here? Some two animals, looks like an elephant. Is the image is clear to you? And another person who is on another animal, maybe he is walking or is commanding the another animal. So the some message we are here decoding. Maybe I am not an expert in the decoding message, but just an example. What I am understanding here, just I am telling you. The right side is a inscription which is written on the rock. Many inscriptions, based on the inscriptions only historians knows the living style, culture of our 420 years. Another, again, the left side is one is a palm leaf, script on the palm leaf. Next, going to the next topic. We know types, functions, 7 C's, elements of communication. But every communication has a barrier. Barrier means one stoppage, obstacle. Barriers are obstacles or difficulties that come in the way of a communication. Those are like a noise. Already we have discussed about the noise with some examples. Mechanical barriers also we have discussed in our earlier topics. The third one is cultural or linguistic. Here is some culture. For example, in India, there is a number of cultures, a number of groups with various cultures living in India, with various languages. If we say something in Telugu to a Tamil person who knows only Tamil, is one of the barriers who could not understand Telugu. Right? A culture, for example, cultural. Some group of people who has some other culture and some group of people with some other culture. If they follow the same culture in another group, they could not understand. The third one is another one is a psychological barrier. Psychological means of the humans, all persons' capability of receiving is not equal. Some persons may know they may grab the information fastly. Some persons may don't grab the information as fast as the others. If I am thinking about some nature, if someone comes and says about the class, about the subject of mathematics, there is a barrier. I could not understand because I am thinking about the nature. I am thinking about the physics, for example. The same time, my friend came to me and he is telling about the mathematics. That is a psychological barrier. I could not understand whether the mathematics is easy, maybe may not easy, even though I could not understand because I'm thinking about the physics. So that is called psychological. This is one example only. There is many of psychological barriers like their mood and their capability of understanding, their anxiety, their position, their physical fitness, all these comes under the psychological noise, psychological barrier. Other barriers like illiteracy, socio-economic conditions. For example, a economically poor person who don't use mobile phone, so the information, the news could not reach him. Audience, distance, sometimes distance is also important. If a person is sit behind to another person, when he speaks something in a simple tone, he can understand. In the audience, in a big meeting hall, the speaker speaks with a low voice, the audience could not listen him. So that is why he used one instrument, that is a mic. With the loudspeaker, the message goes to the target audience. So these kind of barriers in the communication. Impatience, poor listening, one-way communication, low credibility of source, all these are the comes under the psychological barrier. We have known here some barriers. How to overcome to listen some information, how to avoid these barriers, steps to avoid the barriers, steps to remove the barriers. So it is a clear understanding the message. Already we discussed in the earlier topics, subtopics, the clarity. So that is credibility. All those comes under the understanding the message. Another step is completeness. Every human have to know from starting point to ending point. First, for example, storyteller. He starts with some background and introduction, then the main topic, and the ending with some conclusion. That is the completeness. Specific. If the information is suitable to the audience, target audience, then only we listen it. If we say about the Rolex watch to a person who lives in a hut, he don't listen it because that information is not required for him. He could not able to buy a Rolex watch after 2 crores, 3 crores. Timeliness. The right time, the message should be reach the audience, receiver in the right time. And the information should be useful. The message or the information is a credibility, has a credibility. Familiarity. Many have known something, but we have to know the full information about it. Familiarity with the message and media. So how to use that channel, how to use that media, how to read the newspaper, we have to know it. Knowledge obtained from the message. Sender is sending some message to the receiver. So the message should be knowledgeable. Otherwise, you could not listen it. Message relevant to the cultural values, norms of the audience. Already we have discussed in earlier some socio-economic conditions. For this, the remove of the barrier is messages relevant to the cultural values, norms of the audience. So here is, I'm stopping this discussion, this lesson. Have you any doubts? Once check the meeting chart. Note down.
Sir, is there any group for journalism in WhatsApp?
There is a group in WhatsApp. Okay. Tell me your number. I will ask the admin to add your number. You just type in the box, chat box. You know how to read chat box? There is a chat box
Yes,
under
sir.
the.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, read. Note down. I have given some information in the chat box. You note down. I'm concluding the session. Are you note down the message? All of you note down my message.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
all
Yes,
of
sir.
you note down my message. You can. Okay, I'm leaving. No. Next Sunday, from the next Sunday, we'll cover 2-3 units in a single session because this is the first year unit. It requires some more explanation. So that is why I have gone with the detailed PowerPoint presentation with images and examples. Right?
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
please.
can you give any important questions?
See, there is no such kind of important questions because we have given in the textbook with a simple language and simple topics only. For example, you have choices of your question paper contains with the 10 short answers and 5 long answers and one very very long answer. So you have options and there is only 12 units in the textbook. And again, some first unit has more topics, but other units only 3 to 4 topics in a lesson. Means 12 units, just 60 or 50 topics. Out of 50 or 50 topics, in the question paper, there is a 17 questions. You have to write only 6 plus options also there. 22 questions is there in the question paper. So you have options, many options for each question as an option. There is a 22 printed questions in the question paper. You are just going to reading 50 topics. Again, filter it. If you are going to read at least 30 topics, you can answer all questions in all questions. Just go with for example, unit 1, go with 2-3 topics. And unit 2, again you choose your 2 topics or 3 topics. Unit 3, 2 topics. At least you have to read 25, means 12 questions, 12 units, 25 to 30 questions, 30 topics. Out of 30, you will get at least 10 questions in your question paper. Okay?
అంటే సార్ ఇప్పుడు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్ ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్ నుంచి చేస్తారా
Questions,
లేకపోతే వేరే క్వశ్చన్
instead of questions which are given in the textbook, you just go with the topics. Means 1.3, 1.4, 1.6 like this. So you just go with the 2 or 3 topics. Choose just a random only. Just first unit, you choose 3 topics, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. And go to the next topic, next unit. You choose 2.3 or 2.4, 2.5, 2 topics or 3 topics. Maybe this is a simple subject. It is easy to understand some, but you just know some important words. See, post you are completed your after you complete your journalism degree, you have to write a report for the newspaper. For that, you require, for example, if you are attending a press conference, you could not write every word from the speaker. Just what is he saying, which word is important, you just note down. You write on your pad, on your paper. Based on the words, you write a report, a detailed report. A few words, like in English, maybe in your intermediate 10th class, everywhere, one question, just there is some words, you have to write a essay. The same you have to practice from the semester 1 only. This is applicable for all subjects. Just we have to focus on the important words, then frame the words to the sentence to the paragraphs. Maybe it is up to you. Just you have to practice this kind of writing practice. It is easy to you to continue in the journalism field, otherwise whatever the field, it is useful to you, and it is useful to you for other option subjects also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.